And now we'll move on to something that's much more reasonable.
Yeah.
Beyond Meat soaring. Yeah. Oh, the rise of the meme stocks of all companies, Beyond Meat.
I mean, this is 2021-esque. You can think of like AMC and GameStop that were effectively just poorly managed companies that retail investors just launched effectively. I didn't actually know this because I didn't follow Beyond Meat very much, but it was at one point it was a $14 billion company, and it's it's crazy. And they've
remember.
it was a $14 billion company, and they have never reported positive operating cash flow since
it was trading at the peak around 234 a share. I'm sure there's been share dilution since.
Well, there's a whole lot more now.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot more now, but man, it's trading at $2.46 and it's up 67%
today, and it was up 133% yesterday. Yeah, I was saying like the company's like its market cap when I checked yesterday was 115 million, so it's probably like 150 some now. Oh yeah, 167 million. So it's gone up quite a bit. And you hop on a lot of social media groups and you're seeing similar commentary as you heard in 2021 with companies like GameStop, how they're not bad companies. Shorts are keeping these companies down. And Beyond Meat does have heavy short interest. I think it's nearly 70%. So you're seeing massive short squeezes here. And this is just a company that is in horrific shape, which is effectively, interestingly enough, it's in such terrible shape that this is what it's launching the share price. So they have around 300 million in revenue and around $100 million in losses in terms of operating cash flow. And as I had mentioned, this company has never reported positive operating cash flow in any fiscal year. So how they got to 14 billion is just beyond me. Their revenue has been declining every year since 2021. Losses, in addition to debt, just keep on mounting. And what ended up happening was the company exchanged a bunch of their 2027 notes, debt effectively, for 2030 notes. So exchangeable notes, the people loaning them this money can exchange some of that debt for shares. So effectively, it had a bunch of convertible notes maturing this year at 0%. And it had to reissue those by extending the maturity and offering interest on the notes. So instead of all that money coming due this year, they went to the lenders and said, hey, we'll give you some shares right now. We'll pay some interest on those convertible notes, and we'll kick the can down to 2030. So this buys them a bit of time, and this is kind of what launched the share price. So effectively what they're doing, they're extending their debt to make it as lucrative as possible for lenders to keep the debt, all while destroying shareholder value, because I think they're going to issue something like 300 million plus shares. And imagine holding some of Beyond Meat's debt now. You're likely not going to get paid because the company has no money to pay you. You don't want shares of a useless company. So now you can kick that can down to 2030, get 7% interest on the debt, maybe recoup some money, get some shares, and the potential to convert them to some shares in 2030. But there's no reason for the debt holders to say no. So it was a no-brainer to say yes, because they probably weren't getting paid. If those notes came mature today, I think this morning it went up another 70% because they signed some deal with Walmart. But this is pure meme stock, just GameStop stop type situation.
Yeah, I mean, it changed a little bit, so it's up 75% now.
Oh, so it keeps going up.
It's 80%.
Yeah, so, like I had said, I had been looking at some options on this stock like last week, and I was going to buy a bunch, but I can't do it. And now it's up. I mean, they're pure gambling. I mostly wanted to bring it up just because, again, a lot of this stuff was happening in 2021.
Yeah, and you told me the amounts you were considering, and I know it's just a tiny portion for you, but that's what's dangerous with this is people will see this, and then the stock has gone up 236% roughly in 5 days.
Yeah.
So they see that and FOMO kicks in. You saw a lot of GME gamblers that hopped on the bandwagon for GME, and they got on pretty late, and then they just ended up sitting on massive losses after that. And they put way too much money than they could afford to lose in the hopes that they could just make it big and be set for life. You just have to be careful. For this kind of stuff, if you want to gamble a little bit with a tiny portion of your money and you can afford to lose it, have at it. It's your money, you're adults, right? Like you can do whatever you want. But where it gets really dangerous is when you get people that put money that they cannot afford to lose. Unfortunately, I think that's the reality of our markets today is a lot of people feel behind and they feel a bit desperate that they'll never get ahead in life. And that's, I guess, the only way they see that they can get ahead is taking these massive gambles. And I guess for a few it'll work and the rest will just get wrecked.
Yeah, I was kind of debating toying around with a couple $1,000 on some call options, whereas a lot of people are betting the farm on this effectively. You can kind of see it on social media networks like Reddit, things like that. There's kind of a narrative that this company is really not as bad as it seems, and it's the same situation as before. This company is in horrible financial shape. They've yet to post a profit for a very, very long time, and the stock's up 420% since October 16th. So, like, it's just pure
Did
gambling.
they ever post a profit?
No, as I mentioned, they've had negative cash flow for pretty much back to 2017. They've never, I think their best year, they did like negative 20 million in operating cash flow.
Yeah, negative 33 dating back in 2017.
Yeah.
So, that's a great business.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Yeah. This is just degen gambling. You could see the stock go back to 50 cents in a day. Like stuff like this does happen.
It's not only beyond me, right? We texted, what was it, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago when Bitcoin had a pretty sharp correction and people levered up and just got wiped out with shit coins or Bitcoin using too much leverage. And at the end of the day, when you take on risk like that, leverage goes both ways. It gets a little different than this where people will just bet on this going up with or without leverage. And it's a meme stock, but to me, it's still gambling and it's still playing with fire. And people can look up Reddit. People lost all their savings, 50, 100K, 150K. I think I remember one we were talking about where this guy had Bitcoin since like 2020 or something like that. Like
2017.
For like 4 or 5, 2017.
2017, yeah.
So he bought in at the bull market in 2017, peaked at 17,000 USD, but obviously was doing quite well, even if he bought at the peak back then. But it decided to use leverage. And I think he had like 150K or something like that, decided to use leverage and got wiped out. Even though he knew better, he knew that it had worked out for him to just hold and not do anything crazy, just dollar cost average. And this one moment of getting too greedy and got wiped out. If you'd like to listen to the full episode, head to your favorite podcast player and type in the Canadian Investor Podcast. If you'd like to watch the full video, go to jointci.com and you'll be able to subscribe to our Patreon page. On top of that, you will get the podcast feed ad-free. You'll also get our monthly portfolio update and my parents' retirement portfolio update, which I manage myself.